Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Today we're going to be talking about something that I've seen been going around quite a bit on my Instagram feed at the moment, and that is books you would read again if your memory was wiped. Like, what books do you want in your bloodstream? So I thought I would share with you what books I would choose if my memory was wiped and I was like, okay, what books am I having to reread because I cannot fathom not having read these books. We're gonna start with something I read when I was really young. I think I might have been 14 when I read these. The Fallen series by Lauren Kate. These books are absolutely beautiful. This series is a I would love you in every timeline, every universe come to fruition. It's about this lovely young couple who are like dragged apart by time and a curse that they like have cast on them, and it's about them like fighting off the curse and realizing that they've been falling in love over and over and over again for the past like century. No, that's not long enough. But they both live to be about 18 in every lifetime. They fall in love, and then they are like, one of them has a very untimely death. It made me, as a young reader, this series, I absolutely fell in love with it. It was my everything. And it is where I started my love for like, I love you in every timeline, I love you in every universe. The next one is what I read last year, and that is Prison Healer by Lynette Noni. When I tell you that this book absolutely destroyed me in the best way possible, I love the plot twist, I love the characters, I like that it's a YA, and it actually is a YA fantasy series. It is about a prison healer and their fight for freedom and justice. It's really good. I love it. The trilogy is great. I rated this one a 5-star. This is a favorite. However, the second and third one, I think I only rated like 3-4 stars, just because I didn't love the way it went. I think that this was an absolute banger, and because this left me on such a high, I was ultimately kind of disappointed because the other two just weren't as good. However, this one, I could not recommend more. If you want a romance-based fantasy story about freedom and justice, this is for you. It's about magic trials, and there's a lot of betrayal that goes around. It's real good. Another one is an old classic. I watched the movie and the series before I read this book. However, my favorite movie and series and spin-off movie and one of my favorite books is Pride and Prejudice. This, Jane Austen, first of all, made romance. Jane Austen knew what we wanted and just kept writing about it, and I could not thank her enough for it. Because if he wanted to, he would. If he wanted to, he would. I don't need to say much about this. If you haven't read Pride and Prejudice and you don't want to, watch the movie. The movie is amazing and spectacular, and it's how it got me to read this, because I was like, I love the movie so much I would watch it like 2-3 times a year, every year since I was like 12. It's amazing. Mr. Darcy, superb. Now, another one is one that I read in my first year at uni, so it was 3 years ago now, and reading this series kind of got me into adult romance a bit more, and that was Twisted Games by Anna Hong. I don't like Twisted Love at all. Twisted Games, obsessed with. Twisted Hate was okay. Twisted Lies, I also didn't like. It was too long, and I didn't like the way that Anna tried to like wrap up the series, even if like she knew she was gonna be writing a spin-off series. Why would you try and like I just didn't like the way it was done. personal preference. But Twisted Games is my favorite. Bridget and Reese for life. The library scene will forever have me in a grip, and Anna loves to write a good library scene, which is great because I love to read them. The last one is quite a big one. My older brother bought me the first book in this series as a Christmas present because it was in the $5 Big W bin, and gave it to me for Christmas back in 2020. But the next book in this series is literally coming out in like a month and a bit, I think. Oh no, 2 months maybe. I am over the moon ecstatic, cannot wait. This is my anticipated read every year because this author does an absolutely spectacular job. And I'm gonna rank them all for you based on which ones I would absolutely want to read if my memory was wiped and which ones I'd be okay with not reading again. The first one I would absolutely have to read, and it would probably be one of the first books I reread if my memory was wiped, is Archangel's Blade by Nalini Singh. If any of you have seen me interacting on social media with other bookish communities, this is always the book I talk about because this book lives in my head rent-free. This and Fallen, same vibes. I will love you in every universe and every timeline. It's about reincarnation and it's just absolutely beautiful, wonderful. I was crying, sobbing. There's probably tear stains in this book from me. I could not have asked for a better book than this. And this is the 4th book in the series. So the first 3 were about one couple. This is about someone else in the friend group. And then every other book is either about the main couple or a different friend in the friend group. This is my favorite by far, and this would be number 1 on the ranking scale. Number 2 would be the first one. This is the only one that's not the same size as the other books, by the way. The only one that's not the same size, and it bothers me great. But this would be number 2, Angel's Blood. It's about angels and vampires and a vampire hunter and how she falls in love and how she gets herself involved in the whole world and how she slays the game. Read it. It's amazing. You will not regret it. My third, I'm only gonna rank the top 5, is Archangel's Light. This is about the only gay couple so far in the whole series, and it is book 14. It is one of my faves. I love Iliam and Odahan. They have a grip on me. Their friendship is beautiful. You get to see it build over the entire series, which I love so much, and then you get to watch it blossom, and it's amazing. So I would definitely want to reread this one. If I couldn't remember all of them, this is one I would reread. Alright, the next one would be Archangel's War. This is the thickest book in the series with a whopping, I reckon it's only 400 pages. 471 pages. This one is where all hell breaks loose, and it is the most plot-driven one. This book is not about any particular romance. This is all plot and everything happening. So at the end of the day, if you were only going to read up to a certain point, I would say you don't have to read past this book. However, if you don't read past this book, you don't get to this book. So that's kind of a choice you have to make on your own. I personally would choose to keep going. These two are tied for 5th place. This one is about an unknown species of character that's been introduced and his love story with a scholar. Same thing. Between a scholar and this unknown species. It has some pretty deep shit, and there's it's kind of child abuse is mentioned in here. But anyway, really, really good. I love this one. Really good love story. And then we have Archangel's Son, which is about one of these dudes' moms, about her love story, and I think that it's absolutely beautiful and amazing and wonderful, and I really, really wish that this book had more to it. Like, I wish it was thicker. I want to know more. But I'm very excited to see the next book, because the next book is about Ilium and Odahan again. But I kind of wish that if we're gonna get like a repeat of another couple, I really wish that it was about Honor and Dimitri, because I would love to have another one of them. I would love to see them at the club. Like, I'm their #1 fan, #1 supporter. I love them, and I really, really wish that there was more content from them. But anyway, so those are all the books that I would choose to read again if my memory was wiped. And the rest of the books in that series are all of these. I'm not crazy, I just love this series so much. Nalini Singh does have another series. It's called the Sai Changeling series. I haven't read it, but if anyone does, please let me know, because I would love to know if it's worth reading. Thank you so much for listening to me talk about books that I'm super passionate and in love with. I do have a wide array of other books. However, I can't choose all of them. So these are the ones that I would choose to read again.